And let's see. I don't know why every time I press this button now, it tells me it's recording. Can you guys hear that when it does that?
Yes, I do.
Because it happens in my ear every single time.
We're being tapped. We're being wiretapped.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Did you have an update to Zoom or anything recently?
I have no idea. It's never done that before until like the last 2 or 3 times I've done it. So obnoxious.
Oh, good.
But here's what we're dealing with today. I was looking at the ranges on gold and GJ both suck. So we're gonna have to see some nice price action here. But gold looks like it can push up to 1914 or 1917-ish. So, after we got off yesterday off of the Zoom, price wasn't moving for us at all. Remember, 9 o'clock, this was New York session yesterday, was right here. So by the time we got off here yesterday, price had broke out late morning and just ripped. I don't know if there was some kind of news that triggered this or late morning volume or what, but this thing broke out and just ripped out of here. So now we're sitting up at 1910. But you guys remember two things. The last update I gave on gold, we talked about gold breaking back above 1875. And after it does that, there's this clean daily range back up to 1918. So we're seeing that move right now, broke out of 1875 down here, way down here, and made that clean move all the way up. So, we missed 1918 last night. It could be that we spiked today, tomorrow, sometime this week, but regardless, we're making the move that we anticipated. So pretty nice to see there. GJ last night, Trap King gave some buys out on GJ last night, right here. And yeah, they went up and hit his target. So GJ went pretty well for the group. There was a UCAD buy yesterday that we gave. Trap King did. This did pretty well too. It's breaking out again. And then in the week last week, we had a GBP USD short from up here. We had gold buys from down here. Trying to think of what else. I think that's really it, but everything's been going pretty smooth. So we'll see what happens here this morning, but this thing's gonna have to set up pretty nice for us.
People are saying the gold move was news.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look yesterday when it was happening. Now I was watching the chart, obviously I was recording it when it was happening because I like the breakout coming. Sometimes I can just get that gut feeling that this thing is gonna, after watching it for a while, sometimes it'll not really surprise me anymore, but it'll surprise people who aren't used to it. But it's funny because it sat up here in this range here, and I know a lot of people were probably trying to short this thing, seeing that, it's topping out up here. And for whatever reason, every time something technically moves, let's say bullish or bearish, everybody is piling in on the other side. I never really understand it at all. The clear momentum right now is to the upside on gold. So I don't know why scalping intraday, I can see if we break ranges, why we would be interested in selling it, right? I mean, we're only in for 10 pips, 15 pips, but yeah, I don't know. People get in this thing and think they're gonna, ride it back down a million pips, and it's just not the case. But here's the thing on gold. I think we if we see some bullish structure today, we can try to execute on buys. I'm not interested in sells because look at the momentum from last night. Coming up, there's no clean 4-hour ranges. There's no clean 1-hour ranges. There's no clean 30-minute to the 15. So I think gold buys are out of the picture. I think if our gold sells, I think if we want to see a trade here, what we have to think about is we're just pushing up and creating higher lows here at this point. So, you know, we need to see some candles close, right? We need to close back above this level here. We need to get some candles that'll close back above this. So today, if we can get some candles that will do that and push back above this, maybe some consolidation and then a breakout, you know, we could see another nice run to the upside. So we're going to have to sit here and be patient with this today. Because as well here, this is what's kind of tricking me is the daily stopped out here before too. And it's ran into this level a couple of times. So we've got to be mindful of this. But on the 4 hour, you know, if we break it, it can push up again to like 1920-ish, 1921. So I don't know. We're going to have to see how it sets up, see if we can notice any kind of good value when it's happening at the time. We'll see here today. First part is, you know, locking in another higher low and then closing above this. It's the first thing I want to see here. But you guys remember a while back, you know, we've been talking about the same kind of the same ideas for gold, but you know, we track it pretty heavy, and we were talking about the candles that close above. Back when we were popping out of here, you know, we had levels to climb here because you had big resistance here. We had to hold 1770. You have big resistance here. We had to hold, you know, 1810. You have big resistance, you know, in here. You had to hold 1862. I mean, this thing is just literally climbing this wall of worries. When it breaks back clean above like 1730, that's like the last, you know, this is really the last big level here before I think we can have another new nice wave of buyers to start pushing price back into its all-time highs, which at that point, silver's been looking so nice in the daily too. When we get some daily candles that can close above, let's say 29 bucks flat, 29.30, this thing's gonna break out to 35. So curious to see if, you know, we're right at it. Can it break through and start to close up in there? Actually get a move going on silver. It's been consolidating since last, what is it? Last July, I think. Silver's been in this daily consolidation since, yeah, last July. It's insane, almost a year. But this is healthy. A lot of people would think, you know, this is a negative thing. This is pretty healthy for this chart. So I would much rather see like the price take its time making its leg up, because often what happens is if you have a parabolic move to the upside, you know, your downside's going to match the exact same. Look at Bitcoin. Every time it makes an insane run up, it just crashes. It's unsustainable. So we've consolidated there for, again, a year. That's pretty nice. See what oil's doing. Oil's been kind of dipping out. It's been in a huge consolidation too on the daily though. You know, as well, since February, a few months we've been consolidating here. Daily's closing pretty bullish though. So we'll have to see what happens here. The dollar too, I'd like to see this thing eventually come back down and break back through this low here and continue down. We had a clean range here to fall, but once it broke in there, it just kind of found a support and now pushing back up. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Bitcoin, don't really care about. So like pretty much what I would want to see here is like normal we watch 30 minutes, 15 minutes. I would want to see some candles push back above this and then maybe chop around a little bit with some consolidation up here, test into these levels. And then ultimately we want to see a candle close like against this resistance. And then the next one to pull back to create a bottom wick and then break the highs here. So what we're really trying to focus on now in the streams is just really quality setups, tons of patience. I explained this again yesterday. I think I caught myself like maybe last week or the week before really attached to the 7 a.m. push. And I don't know, it was rushing me into some trades and it was just stupid. I had to change it. So what I'm trying to do is take even less trades, maybe not a trade a day, not give it 2 chances, but maybe just, 2 or 3 trades a week. Because the more you focus on those quality setups, when they happen, you know them when you see them, and then you're not in a million trades and all this stupid stuff happening and trading every day. We don't need to trade every day. The less you do it, the better it's going to be. So we got to sit here and be patient. Again, just looking back at things, there's not really, it's too bullish for me to want to sell this. And there's not really clean ranges anyways. Maybe you could argue that underneath this low here, you would have a clean range, but I'm not interested in it. 30-minute wick too. It could be that price sells off under that, but I won't be touching it. And Jay, you were asking about partials on MT4. You can manually close them out with so like when you open a position, right? You know how you normally hold it down, then click close.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
how
go
how
ahead.
you enter it and you put your lot size in up at the top.
Yeah.
When you hold it down and click close, you can go back up to the top,
And
it'll
like
say like,
reduce it, right?
yeah,
Kind of.
you can lower that lot. So let's say you have like $1 pip in there. You can erase your dollar and just put 0.05 and it'll close that 0.05 and leave the rest open.
Yeah, okay. And I have played with that. It was more, I set that scenario to trap scenario just at the top TP because I just did. And it didn't reach the top one, but it got above the second one. But when I woke up, it was below that, right? So I was like, okay, how do I play this so I can maximize this better? Or do I literally just have to be awake?
Yeah, no, there's really no good answer. You're gonna have to be there to watch it.
No, for sure. And
So what
maybe
happened?
that
It all topped out and you hit your first target and the full position was taken out.
so are you saying what happened? Sorry.
Yeah, like what
So
happened? You hit TP1 and then it took the
TP1,
100% out.
he had 3 in this case for some reason. So I had it set just to close at TP3, but it only reached TP2.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Only set it at the furthest one if you're there monitoring it and you're closing along the way. Never do that.
For sure.
100% close it out. Always set it, especially if you go to sleep, set it at the first target.
I guess true. Just
You
accept that you might not get max dollar, but you'll likely at least close.
Yep. It's better to close the money than it is to
to wake up and see that you could have.
Yeah, it's a greedy scenario.
Oh, I wouldn't say I was being greedy, more so not knowing, but yes, I get it. You know, yeah, I
But
got,
you know, well, you might not know. It's a greedy scenario. It's a greedy scenario.
yeah,
We all go there. We all go there.
but yeah, no, I got, I don't know, 60% of what could have, so not
Yeah.
not a bad thing, just
Uh-huh.
just
Yeah.
another lesson.
Yeah, 100%. If you go to bed for sure, just put it at the first target.
Yeah, makes sense.
I was thinking GJ too today. You know, this thing pushed back up into the range last night. It could be, if we break this wick, this thing could sell off. But let's say you get some candles that close up here as well, like the gold scenario, this thing could break back out to the upside. So I'm curious to see, because GJ would be something, you know, we could execute on too. It's just, it's so choppy. It's been stuck in a range for everything. It's like, what's going on here? It's been just stuck in this range. So far, gold's price action's looking bearish. So, you know, it's only 7:20. We have some time. Just sit here and wait.
You just made me realize too that worst case scenario would be to wake up, see that it didn't close, and then now you're nearing your stop loss.
Oh yeah. Or your stop loss is hit after it
Yeah,
hit your target one.
true.
Then you're really gonna be annoyed.
So Tanner, you're usually watching for a big push, like there's a huge hit of volume sometime after 7,
Mhm.
probably before 7:30 or around 7:30. Like, is there a time about what is that window roughly when that happens?
So you have the New York Open at 7. So I know that any time between, really, after 7, close to it, like 7, you know, 8 o'clock, there's normally a pretty big volume push. But if not, then your next window of volume is New York Stock Exchange Open, which is 8:30 my time, so Central Time. So you can get these big pushes within these times, you know. That's why, like, typically I'm done by 30 minutes after the New York Stock Exchange, because if something doesn't move, like, you know, I don't get too concerned. But I've stayed and I've traded before, you know. Like a few years ago, I used to trade, I might watch the whole New York session, right? So that was a mistake too. Uh because the volume can die off and be, sometimes you might have something move at 1 p.m. Sometimes you don't. I don't know. It's just kind of screwy. So typically I'll just watch from like 7 to like 8:45. So 7 a.m. New York Open, 8:30 New York Stock Exchange Central Times. So I just know with session, you know, there's institutions trading, there's big money. So obviously we're going to get some volume in there because they're going to move the market around. Catch our trades. Have to see what happens here. Gold looks like it's making a push up. So, you know, it's coming up on 7:30 now. Maybe we could get this to close above all this here. And that would be a nice 30-minute close, because then again, we would have these lows, higher lows, higher lows. Close above all this is what we need. So this will close in 5 minutes. We'll have to see here. go look at the, gold's breaking up. Let's go look at the news here. See what's going on today. So refresh this. Gonna have, what is today? Wednesday? Crude oil inventories. Today's Wednesday, so we got that at 9:30. We won't be here for that tomorrow. Good volume. We can have 7:30 news, unemployment claims too, and then 9 a.m. news. We won't be there for that, but Friday we're gonna have some news as well. So might have some nice movers tomorrow. Oh, on Trap King, I already broke GJ down when we got on here, bro. We already know. You gave the buy yesterday on the Zoom. Yeah, you're all good. He did yesterday's Zoom, gave this buyout on the Zoom, talked about it, explained it. So look, if gold breaks this high right now, I will not be interested in taking this trade. There's 15 minutes, gonna close here in 3.5 minutes, 30-minute as well. Imagine this thing breaks the high here without us and just takes off. That's a huge candle right there too.
You got to stop, Tanner, or are you just waiting to
Uh,
market here?
I'm not gonna put a stop yet.
Yeah, okay.
I'll wait. I mean, you can like have whenever you want to set a buy stop, you can still have it ready. Like I would look at the broker on your phone, not at TradingView, and look at what's the price to the left. Set it a little bit of, you know how I do it, set it above it a little bit. In this case, because we're buying it. So you would want to go look at that price, right? So like mine is like 1910, 1910 28. So what I would do is like, buy stop 1910 28, and I would just have it set up and ready, but I would be waiting, right? So then I would look at 1910 28 on here, and I'll come down, I'll look at, okay, where's like 8-9 pip stops? So 1909.46. So now what you would have to do is you would have to wait for this candle to close, because look, we've seen gold a lot. It'll pop these highs and close right back into the range. It does this all the time. And so what you need to do is be patient and wait. You have to be willing to miss. Okay, this thing could break the high today and it might rip, without you. There's nothing you can do about it. You got to be willing to miss that move. But this candle closes here in a minute. Let's see what's happening here. So it could have a nice pump when it breaks, 13 pips. This is a longer term target up here. I think these today are more, this is going to be a more of a realistic range.
It's trying to go.
It's all right. It can go without me. There it is. So yeah, I mean, this is the thing too. You're going to have to be willing to miss these, because look, it could close, that's a 4 or 5 pip push, and it could pull all the way back down into this, and you don't have any candle closer, right? So let's just see what happens here. I'm not sure there's a good way to play this now. Let's look at GJ. GJ's not going to give an opportunity here. Here, I might play an aggressive position here. Let's just wait and see. I'll market execute this. I'm not gonna put an order. But let's see what happens here. I want to see this next candle open up and create a pullback for a bottom wick. We want that bottom wick. Gold is going to jack around and ruin this for us today. Wow. See, it broke the previous high. It's up like 4 or 5 pips right now. See, I thought maybe this might happen. When gold broke this, even without the bottom wick, this isn't something that I want to give out to anyone, but yeah, I went ahead and took an aggressive position on there, so it's already at break even here. And I'll explain the whole wick and all that for anyone who's confused about it. Just give it a minute. Man, this thing needs to rip a little more. Come on. There we go. A little more. Since I aggressively played it, I'm just going to leave it probably at break even and see what happens to it, because you know, it could still push on the hourly too. But these are not times to enter. Like, you don't want to enter in these areas. You don't want to do that. You know, this was a pretty aggressive position anyways that I typically wouldn't do, but I'll explain why with the bottom wick, what all of that means, why I don't do it, why it's not a good idea most of the time. But gold's volume too lately has just been insane. See, we keep topping out here on the 1 minute. We need this price. If this price breaks back below this in any significant amount, what I'll do is just close a small win. But ultimately what I want to see here is price break this high and continue up today. So we'll see what happens here. But we got to remember, there's no bottom wick, you know, on the 30-minute, 15-minute, all of that. So, you know, it could be that this plays all the way back down into the range. Yeah, I'm going to take a win here and just close it out. Wow. Watch this thing too. There's like targets on my back every time. Watch this thing. Where I close it, it's gonna turn and pop the high. And then it's gonna make another like 20 pip impulse. It's gonna be hilarious here. This is so stupid when this happens. See, now I'll explain this 30-minute though. What happens here is so you notice how like every other candle has bottom wicks, top wicks, right? Not every candle will. Um, but for the most part, you will get these just about every candle with, 95% of these candles with wicks on both sides. And the reason that's significant, because if you want to play a breakout, right? If you want to play a breakout and you have a trade that doesn't the candle doesn't have a bottom or a top wick, um sorry, I'm reading something, I got zoned out here. But let's say that you're playing a breakout, you already know that you have a resistance up there, right? The reason that you don't want to do that is because that candle can pop into that and suck right back into the range and create its bottom wick. And if you're not prepared for that, or you haven't seen that, anywhere within that range, that candle can suck back down. So if at any point this thing would have started to drop on me, I just would have immediately closed it. Like in my eyes, I wanted to have 1 minute candles just completely break out, right? This one broke out, this one tested it. When this one broke the high, 1911 is where I executed. 1 second. I'll show you guys this real quick. I'm gonna send it to you, Stephen, on just do it quickly here. I'll send it to Stephen's Discord, and then I'll pull it up on here and show you guys. What the heck is this? So pretty much what's happening here is, let me go down here, pull this up. 1911.16 was where I literally pressed buy. So 1911.16 to 1911.65, when it started to break that 1 minute again, like I said, I was going to close out of that because it could drop without that 30-minute wick, 30-minute and 15-minute bottom wick. Price could make a deep retracement. So once it broke that recent 15-minute high, I went ahead and just executed 1911. What was it? 1911.16. So it was literally like right here, and it went up over 10 pips. You guys know how we usually do it: 10 pips, 15 pips, just scalping things. And yeah, I mean, this thing went up and I set it at break even, and I was going to try to let it see if we could get it to break out quick. But again, once it started to retrace, I was just going to cover what little bit I could and then leave it alone. So there's GJ, broke the bottom wick. I don't like to sell on this though. Well, you know what, with this is like this is kind of like I wouldn't say perfect, but this structure here is kind of nice. This zone is huge. And the idea that you have a bearish candle, huge 30-minute wick, closing bearish, the next 30-minute created a top wick and broke the low. That's where you execute on those. It's not too clean, but these 15 minutes are clean back down to this. So we'll see what happens with GJ. I'm not in that. I'm not executing on it, nothing like that. So just bringing it up just to show you guys. Let me read this. Somebody says silver rip too. Yeah, silver did break out of there. And look, some people will be saying, well, why come, or, why don't you tell us? Why don't you look? I'll have these ideas, but remember, in the end of the day, I'm not obligated to even be here. So I do this just to do it. And if I don't think there's a position that a lot of people understand or would be a good idea for a lot of people to trade, I'm just simply not going to do it. So, that's the reality of this. I've seen this, I know because of gold's recent volume that it can push up without this bottom wick all the way to 1915 and then not even have one at all. But this thing as well can reverse really quick. And I'm trying to give quality trades on here, so I don't want to give that trade out. I'm surprised with this 1 minute breakout here, this thing isn't continuing. Again, we just have to remember overall that 15-30 minute no bottom wick. Gold, silver like this, right? This would be the scenario where gold popped up, but silver popped up, came back down, and created its bottom wick. Gold could do the same exact thing here. So you've got to know when those candles don't open with wicks, you're either making a quick play or you might get screwed. and this gold too. I mean, we've seen this thing, it can whiplash pretty harsh. So you want to be mindful of all of that too. See, here's the thing though. Now you've got to think about, because then I'll be thinking about this throughout my day, like going to the gym, whatever. Now what I have to think about is how could I have capitalized on this move better? How could I have maybe knowing that, okay, I'm at my resistance that I picked out earlier in my target, and I'm up past my typical target. I was up double what I was today, a little over double. So now I've got to think about, why didn't I close up there instead of maybe kind of getting greedy with the position, and instead I closed half of what I could have. So, then I'll have to go back through and note it down today and figure out, what could I do better with that? Because some people will say, I kind of understand, there's this guy I follow that just does some insane things in the trading world. And then I'll be like, man, this guy, he'll be having these $1 million trading months and then still be complaining on the internet about it. But I guess on a smaller scale, like I can see where the frustration is. Why didn't I make more? Always. See, this is a good thing with, I didn't want us to execute on GJ today. So it's a good thing. Typically once we have the breakout, we're at break even anyway. So probably break even trade here, but it's a good thing I'm not even entertaining it. S&P is something I've been watching too. I'm going to add this into our trading as well. I'll be testing things on it like for the next few weeks. So if you see me looking at it, and I'm marking it up, don't execute on anything. Like I'm not trading it. I'm just watching it. See this new 15-minute open now, and it can drop back past the open of the 730, which would give the 30 its bottom wick, right? So you guys might get to see it happen here real time, where you get that breakout, but you've got to know, don't jack around with it, because it'll come back down. It'll create that bottom wick. Then it might just close back in the range all day, And if you anticipated a massive move here, you get screwed on that. Didn't get out, got jacked up on it. So Watch a 15-minute here and see if it dips back down to create a 30-minute wick. See, now look, your 30-minute has its bottom wick. Yeah, exactly, Douglas. Exactly. Says when you put all your focus on how you trade instead of how much money, the money will follow. Yes. You know, here's the thing, especially with Instagram and this and that, that this is why I don't post anything trading related. This is why I don't advertise like anything, because these people get sold on these ideas that you're gonna come in making, you know, they might see somebody post 500 bucks, $1,000 win, $2,000 win, 5,000, and then they go, oh, I can do that. So then they get in all already for the wrong reason, right? It's just, you just got to worry about yourself, your own trading. Especially watching the internet, man, it's so toxic. All these people on YouTube that just show these screenshots of, I don't ever even show any screenshots of anything, because look, here's my thing. If people stick around, it won't be because I'm showing off, you know, any kind of screenshots or anything like that. It's, they stick around for the pure value, not the fact that, oh, I can show, you know, I made 200 bucks today. You know, what are most people making? I can go that arrogant route about it, like a lot of these people do. And look, I can post all this stuff on the internet too. I can post, you know, a phone with a chart on Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Porsches and all of this stuff too. It's just stupid. I feel like when CJ breaks this wick low, it's should continue back down. I would think it's coming to 153.974 today. Man, the dollar's ripping today. Bitcoin doing a whole lot of nothing. GLD looks good too. SLD looks just like silver. I mean, GJ has been chopped up here in this range. Yeah, I think you're right. The dollar makes a higher high than yesterday. It could be a temporary bottom. I think it already is a temporary bottom. It's bouncing off of there pretty nice. It's ripping out of there. And again, I'm not too sure why it had clean range in here just to free fall through here, but it found a nice support in here for some weird reason and is just trying to hold on. But yeah, I mean, think about it this way, kind of like how gold had a big long way to recover. The dollar would have a long way to recover too before it looked bullish again, because you would have to see the dollar break back above this high, and then the dollar would have to break back above this high, and you'd have to see it break back above this high here. It has a lot to climb through too. So I don't know what's going on with it, but I only track it long term just because it has an inverse correlation with the dollars or with the metals on higher time frame that I pay attention to. So that's the reason I watch it. But
When you look on the daily, it's made a few upward pushes like this, but overall it's still dropping.
yeah. See, you have to believe, in times like this when it's pulling back too. Let's say you're in something long term, or let's say you have a long term outlook on it. Like you just have to believe what you're thinking is true, and yeah, like you're saying, it's at a weekly low. I mean, we're gonna get some bounces in here, but you've got to think about this just downward momentum it has.
Hey, what's up, people? Are you still with? Now, what's up?
What up, Trap King?
There you go.
What up? I was reading there's like
What's up? Where did you go?
what's up?
I'm good. I just stepped in. You guys been able to catch anything?
I took a gold buy here, closed a little bit of money, but yeah, nothing too nice setting up. I took my position was pretty aggressive. There was no bottom wick on the 15. It broke the previous high. I thought it had room to push. It pushed up like 13, well, I guess more than that, like 17 pips. So I took a little money off of it, and yeah, that was my trade today. So I don't know. There's not too much happening here.
Well, I believe you see has room to the upside.
Yeah, I think
A lot of room,
yeah, on the daily though, look, we're running into this kind of resistance here. So I figured we were going to get a little noise here. We got to get back above, 1930 here. So clean up some of that noise. But yeah, it popped to the upside a little bit, and
Well, time will tell. I don't have anything right now. I'm just looking.
yeah, your GJ trade was nice.
Yep. And I gave GJ yesterday So I called gold this morning. Well, I guess the team was sleeping. I don't know. I guess I like to sleep, you know.
You gave GJ down here yesterday.
Let's see. On one eye, if you can switch to the one eye, that's where I'll see it properly.
Right here,
That
right?
was, yep, around the 50% of that candle there.
Mm-hmm.
So the market came down very close to the stop loss. And then again, when I saw the move, I called it again this morning for the squad, giving them a better entry.
Yeah, I see. I showed that too on here. The
Yeah.
right here, you said buy GJ again, and yeah, took off out of here. Pretty nice.
Yep. Crazy.
Then you
I'm having a
had,
good weekend.
I know. Then you had USD CAD too.
Yeah, USD can actually hit me at a break even yesterday, but I'm fine. You know, I caught a good number
Oh
of
my,
it.
bro, it's ripping. 70 pips up. You can't. Somebody says can't find any brokers that allow U.S. citizens to trade XAD, USD. Oh, we are trading with offshore brokers. You can't use like Oanda. And yeah, you've got to use something else. Yeah, looks like, man, that's gonna be probably it. Well, not probably, will be it for me today. I don't. Here's one thing I don't do. Somebody saying which broker can I use for crypto other than Hugo's Way. I don't recommend brokers. I don't talk about those. You know, you can, I always just tell everyone, go through, do your research, read on the internet, find what kind of broker you want to use. Because when it gets personal with things like that, you know, you suggest something to someone or they have a bad, whatever, bad time or whatever's happening. It's just, I don't want to deal with it. So I don't, and to be honest with you, best broker for crypto for on the weekend, no idea. I don't trade crypto. I don't invest in crypto. I'm all out of crypto. No idea.
I mean, they
Oh,
complain all they want, but you know, what's it called? Weekends. As a matter of fact, the only broker I tried using the tried trading crypto on is Yugoslavia. Nothing else. That's the only one I've ever tried. I don't know whichever one is out there that allows crypto, but you know.
I'd seen something earlier I was gonna make a comment on. I think someone said, oh, silver mirrored gold. Um,
Why do I feel as if gold is going to reject from here and continue going up?
it might, but oh, I was gonna bring up about that. The keeps slipping my mind. Oh, gold and silver correlate like 85%. So yeah, you'll typically get their charts can look pretty similar, but like they won't look completely the same. You know, you go look at gold on a daily, like this daily here looks completely different from this daily here. You know, both bullish, but their dailies are a little different here. So,
Bottom line, trade what you see.
yep. I never trade correlations. Like, let's say I'm buying gold, I'm not selling the dollar, right? Because it's just doesn't work intraday. Or let's say I'm buying gold, can't necessarily buy silver either.
I mean, once I look at them like that, the one that gives me the clearest indication is the one I'm going to eventually trade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has happened a couple of times where I have seen GU go up, EU go down.
Yep.
That's the more reason why you don't want to trade correlation. UCAD go up, UTF go down. And you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I think the correlations used to be a little bit better too, or I don't know. It seemed two things. It seemed like news used to be much more dramatic in the market, and correlations used to be different, 2 or 3 years ago. Doesn't seem the same now. I remember I used tracking. You were here like 3 or 4 years ago, one night when we were trading London session and Brexit news hit during the pounds,
Yep.
when we were trading those all the time. Sometimes it would be a blessing, sometimes a curse.
Then Hussein decided to come up with a 1 minute news strategy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Bro, we used to sit on those Zooms for hours, all day,
Like
18 hours straight.
I mean, people don't even know what the dues we have paid.
Oh, I know. We used to sit on there for forever, all the time. Bro, people would go to sleep, wake up for work the next morning, and click the Zoom link again, and we'd still be on there. See, that was good for like learning though, to learn the movement of charts and everything else. Now
Yeah,
I would never do that now, but I like that I did it before. I like that I watched that many hours.
man, you cat baby, good job.
Yeah, you cat ripped out of there.
You cat, good job. I don't even know how many pips I caught on you cat. I need to go and do a count. Jeez.
Wasn't this this was the entry here, right where I have this.
Yep, there you go. That was it, right there. People don't know what it is to hold a market, hold a trade for days, and you're like, wow.
Yeah. See, gold is rejecting off of that level that I had there. It's choppy up there from that daily. That daily right here is it's getting choppy up here. So it needs a clean break above 1940 14. But it's rejecting there. So big spike. It's funny I was in that. And then price coming back below these lows, might see a pullback on gold today. I don't like the sells though. I said that from the beginning. That's why I took the buys. But yeah, 803 here. Man, I was reading that. I've been looking at just some things on some of these gold miners, and see, now before I keep going, this would have been like an entry here, right? That I would have taken, maybe see this is already 12 pips. So this is a bad example because on these kind of scalps, I'm already in and out. But the being patient lately with letting candles close where I want them, and then breaking the previous higher low to execute has been that those are the best quality trades. Executing like just these kind of as soon as these breakout trades like this, that is what we've been normally executing on. But some of these will just suck back up into the range. But this one, 13 pips or whatever, it just fell through there. But there's no candles that close there, so you can't. Got to be patient with it. But uh these top 50 miners, they in the metals market, they're on track for 6 straight profitable quarters, which has never happened in history. So that's pretty cool. That's a reason that drags you know, the whole gold, the whole metals market with it too. See, I sent that, Trap King. I sent the screenshot of this silver miner chart to my dad earlier this morning, and this guy responds with uh, a road raging video he sends me. He just completely ignored the chart. He just sends me back a road raging video. Then he sends me some Bitcoin article. It's hilarious.
I'm so tired. I need to sleep.
Bro, I have not been sleeping good for like literally the past week. I don't understand what's going on with me.
Bro, man, you need to get some sleep, you know.
I know
That's the probably maybe that's why I'm beginning to call all the trades. I'm beginning to see them because I try to give myself some good rest. So that once I wake up, I could easily come with a clear mind and I'm like, okay, what's the chat saying? Okay, this is it, let's have fun. And all that. I mean, I could easily say I'm done for the month. I could easily say I'm done for the month because I mean, what has gone on?
The by the time I lay down and actually go to sleep, it's probably 1 a.m. and then I'm waking up at like 5. I don't understand. I'll lay down like last night at like 9 p.m. and I just lay there all night.
Ooh.
Just not even tired, bro. Then I get on the phone looking at YouTube. I mean, all kinds of stupid stuff on there too. It's not even anything productive. I'll be watching some of this stuff like I don't even understand. I don't know. My sleep has just been screwed up.
So I just took a peek at GU right now. Let me see. I know you don't want it, so.
See
like
now,
I still like a 23 pin move. 23 to 40 on what's it called on GU.
you're looking at the south side, or
Oh yeah, on the sell side. On the sell side. But anyways, I'm not. I mean, I want them. There's some things I'm looking at the market to do, and the market is not doing. So let it be. I just let it chill. Maybe I'm going to call it tomorrow. But
Up
for now, I'm more satisfied with what I'm saying. So I
up
just let
here?
it go. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Okay, now remember where I was selling it from? I think was it day before yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, up here.
Yeah, I sold it for no, as in we go to the right where good.
Oh, up
The
here.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So right there. So now you see that candle there, that one that you box up there.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that is not supposed to be a valid trap, but based off of what the market has been doing, it makes it even valid. So I mean, if you go to the H4, it makes it even valid. So you can see there's a bearish engulf in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. And if you perfect, look at that. So it's all there. So that's that. So I'm just going to see what the market. I'm not in a hurry to take this trade. So to be honest,
Yeah.
I'm not in a hurry to take this trade. I want to see what the market does afterwards, and if it could go all the way up, and then we'll jump again in.
Why is it not a valid trap?
It is not a valid trap because if you look, that was like a retest of the previous trap to the left. That was like a retest to the previous trap of the left. So it makes it not even valid. And I mean, I said it on Zoom that we are buying to sell. We bought from down there up into that trap up there and sold down. So it's no longer a valid trap, but based off another kind of market structure, it looks good. It looks good that if the market comes there, I want to see a rejection to continue to the downside. But then I mean, GU has been consolidating for like how long now?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's trying to do, but it's just in this range. Well, it doesn't mean we can't catch something, you know. If I want to see what G is probably doing, I'll need to look far left and see what exactly is there. So, I mean, it filled up that week up there. So that was that alone was like, wow, it has filled up. Oh, not yet. It hasn't gotten there yet to the top of that week. It
Yeah.
hasn't gotten there, but I think it did.
But it's rejecting, you know, at this daily
Yeah, it's
here.
rejected. Yeah. So that's like, that tells me that there's a lot of things there telling me that we're most likely going to get a fall from there. Most likely going to get there. But we're not just going to jump in because we feel it's going to sell. We need to look for we need to pick up our different models and start looking for sell opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
My model is trap, and also it has to align with the time of day. To be honest, I don't feel like jumping in any trade anymore because I could easily jump in a trade now and lose. I caught a good number of pips on gold and GJ. So I'm not really in a hurry to take anything. I really am not in a hurry. But I'll be watching it. If I see anything, I'll most likely share it in the group, like I did with GU this morning. Well, how come you guys always asleep when I'm awake? Like, what the? I mean, this morning I was like screaming, "Where is everybody? Something is happening," and people were sleeping.
Missed the move,
Maybe,
bro.
maybe it's a time zone stuff, but I mean, it happens.
Good thing I woke up halfway.
Wow. Yeah, you woke up halfway and you caught something.
There was a full lunar eclipse last night, so I tried to check it out, and Trap King was blowing my phone up.
And then you got some good pips. I mean, it's London session, so
Yeah, London's the hard one for North America.
sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just try and pay attention to those time frames. London, those 3 hours in London, and those and the 3 hours in what's it called? 3 hours in London and 3 hours in New York. So those time frames, I always have my alarm set that whatever I'm doing, I like to leave that time frame open. I like to be awake at that time because something is going to definitely happen at that time. If I don't catch it at that time, the next time I'm going to catch it is going to be during this time frame where we are right now. So I mean, I like my time zone. I go to bed by London opens by 8 a.m. my time. So I get up by 7 and I'm already good. I get up by 7 because London opens by 8 a.m. my time. So once I 7, I'm like, where's everybody? I try to drop what I see and I go out. Like I just stepped into the house and I said, okay, what's happening? If I hadn't caught any pips, I'm very sure I've been looking for something right now. But to be honest, I don't see anything. Nothing is really clear right now for me anymore.
Dang, I was hoping gold would stop here on the 15-minute, and then the next one would wick up and break that low, because you guys could have executed on the sell back down to 1900. But it's
Hold on. When is the next 4-hour candle going to close?
it already we already had it open 14 minutes ago.
Just got opened.
Yep, 14 minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so if this 15-minute would have closed back like right on that support, and the next one were to create a top wick and break it, those are like, man, fire. It would be the same exact setup as this, right? Just with the wick going in its favor. It'd have been the exact same setup. You'd have a candle closing up on support or resistance like this, and then the next one breaks its high. You would have had the same thing here, you know, to do that with. But Yeah, gold and silver both. Again, you're at a nice daily point for them to see some selling. And these things have been on a rally too, the last few weeks. So all right, Jay, catch you later. So to have some like intraday noise, again, I'm not surprised. And as well, too, this is, we can go against our complete bias, long-term bias trading ranges like this, so it doesn't surprise me at all.
Next set of buys I'll be looking at on gold is at 1890. That's the next set of buys I'll be looking at on gold. For now, with this level of rejection.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be some rejection up here for sure.
With this level of rejection here, and with this structure is giving us here, if they give me a trap again, well, I'm sorry for their loss.
I might put some more risk on the table here today.
Okay, that's on gold. You feel like
Yeah,
selling?
I think I'm gonna wait for this 5-minute candle to close here, but we closed below all the support on the 15. The current 15 came up, retested 1904. I think we could see price break this bottom wick here and melt back down into 1984. So I'm interested right now. But then again, I already executed on a trade, so it's one of those things. Sit on my hands, not force another one, or put a little risk out there.
Just give the order. Somebody say go for it, scam king.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, that 15 minutes holding. If this 15-minute flips bearish here and breaks this low, I think gold could have a nice push back down into this range here. Gonna have the New York Stock Exchange opening in 10 minutes as well. So price could be sitting waiting on that too. Nice. Douglas been in since 1907.
We have people here that don't play at all.
What's that?
1907. I said we have
Oh,
people
yeah.
here that don't play at all. 1907.
Yeah.
Like, seriously?
Where was the signal at? That's what I want to know.
Man, people don't play yet. This week I doubled the 50. I've already doubled the $50 account.
See, I think with
I'm-
the New York Stock Exchange opening in let's say 8 minutes, 7 minutes, you would want to wait to execute, and you would want to see this candle hold a resistance somewhere in here and close like kind of bearish rejecting up in here, and the next 30-minute open you would want to see price pull up to create a top wick and then to break the lows and continue to sell off. So yeah, that would be your idea there for anyone interested. We'll wait for price to New York Stock Exchange open here in 7 minutes. We'll wait for that, and then we'll give it like 5 minutes after that. And we'll call it a day. See if you guys can't execute on the trade here. But as well too, if it doesn't set up how we want, just ignore it. No trade. $19.04 was your target, so you already hit your target then. Dang, that's crazy. Not on your chart. That 1904 hasn't been hit. It's already went down past that on here by $2. Yeah, it's the broker's difference. So you got 5 minutes for the open. Yeah, I mean, I guess if this is a trade like to execute on, you really don't want this to break up much more, because you want this 15-minute candle to close like you know, with a rejection up here off of this, then the next one to wick up and break the low. And then that would be your entry under there. So I wouldn't personally, I don't want to see that candle make a go up much more. GJ close to that target I was expecting. There it is. See now these candles, 15-minute, you're gonna have a new 15-minute in 2 minutes, a new 30-minute. So the New York Stock Exchange will open up too. Got to see what that does. GJ hit that target that I was expecting this morning. So you got 30 seconds through this. Just gonna watch the S&P here on the open too. So now you have a new 15-minute candle. See, like if this were happening on gold right here, this is why I'm starting to watch the S&P. If this were happening on gold right here, this would be something I would have interest in. But it looks like things aren't going to set up for another trading opportunity today. So it's probably going to be it for me today. So anything from anyone else? Anything at all? Anything from anyone else? Yeah, so that's probably going to be it. I'm gonna hop off of here and just leave it at that. Took a small trade today. I mean, showed you guys. Took a small trade today and more aggressive.
Yeah. So
Shit.
let me go sleep.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right. All right. I'll see everyone later on.